What's up, everyone? Join me as I dive into I don't want to say some of the worst audition experiences I've ever had, but the worst audition experience I can remember. And let me share that with you and leave you questioning why I continue to do what I do and why people tolerate me. So, auditioning in the entertainment industry, it can be a thrilling experience. It can lead to unexpected and sometimes terrifying situations. And whether you're a seasoned actor or just starting out, the audition process is a daunting task that sometimes that pushes you absolutely out of your comfort zone and leaves you feeling not just vulnerable, but everywhere from embarrassed to shamed and ragingly jealous and angry. um, and I've heard a lot of the horror stories. I've experienced a lot of the horror stories, and rejection, judgment, and those just kind of come with the territory. But and there are some bizarre requests. Now, actually, I think it was the second one now that I think about it. So there's two now. But not that that's bad enough. But then if there are the random anomaly ones that uh, that stand out that will haunt you for the rest of your life, those are the expectations. Or there are expected expectations that come with like the pressure to look a certain way, the pressure to act a certain way, to be a certain type. I mean, it's exhausting and it's overwhelming. And then you still to this day, as anybody who's been with me long enough know, you start to wonder if it's all worth it. Like fame and fortune are one thing. That's amazing, I imagine. But getting a paycheck is, if you're surviving off of these jobs, there's a lot at stake. And so it just adds to the emotional, the ability to be emotionally bruised and battered. um, so it can be an emotional roller coaster. And it's not uncommon for actors to feel like they're walking on eggshells, never knowing what's going to happen next, and they might be asked to perform some crazy thing or whatever. But there there's like one story, and this isn't mine, but this is like there's one story who was asked to like spend hours in a cramped dark room pretending to be a hostage, or like one other one who had to perform like a dramatic monologue while being doused with water and yelling at the director. And these are just like legendary horror stories that are kind of crazy and terrifying. And nowadays I think things have changed a lot, but now two stories, because as I was talking stands out, that are bizarre. And one was my fault, for lack of better terms, and one was the casting director being weird. And it wasn't until I was recording this that I was like, now that I think about it, that was pretty sketchy. Do I need to raise my seat here? I'll just sit up straight. Um, so one, when it comes to auditions, a lot of times you'll be like just desperate to try to, because at the end of the day, they say don't find a gimmick. They say, whatever. But if these casting directors have been watching this one audition for 8 hours a day, odds are, and it's for the tier of character you are. Like if you're going for the lead, like there might be nuances in the performances, but if you're like just like the B team role, odds are everybody came in because the way the script is written, that the character can't really be too amazingly diverse. So odds are everybody that came in, even though they think they're doing something unique and new, odds are for 8 hours that day, everybody's done the exact same performance. So whether this is right or wrong, tend to want to do something to just stand out, not be goofy and absurd, but just enough where they go, oh, that guy. So like one I did for like Ray Donovan on Showtime. It was literally just agent whatever, agent exposition. Like this guy comes into this couple scenes to help feed the plot to the main actors, and I wore a plate carrier into the audition, no magazines or ammo or anything, but just enough so they're like, oh, that guy, he did it the exact same way everybody else, but he had body armor. Sure, we remember him. And it's a gamble because you could piss them off and embarrass yourself, or that you could stand out and they could be like, oh, that guy was good. Just this is nuts. But so in the spirit of that, I had done that, and shortly after I had another audition, and I'll look at the script and I'm like, all right, what can I do that matches what the character should do and helps just kind of stand out just a little. And this one in particular, it was actually a major movie, and the scene it was actually for the lead on this one, so I was really stressed. And the scene, it was one of those stupid cliche action scenes or movie scenes in the action movie where the hero is ripped and shredded and they have to show off his muscles. Like they're so painfully forced. And he's literally working at a workbench on the submarine and he's grinding metal and it says he's shirtless and his body glistens with sweat. So it's just like, that's why that scene is being written to show off muscles. Whether a dude wrote it, a girl wrote it, it doesn't matter. But that's why it was written the way it was written. And it's just like, this is the scene in the entire movie you chose to audition. Like, he talks the entire movie. He has very probably good, meaty scenes where there's actually good discussions and conversations. This is the scene you chose to audition with. And I was kind of sick of it. And admittedly, this is when I was really shredded. Like, I was really living like bodybuilder actor life. And I was like, and I'm not that guy that goes, look at my, showing off body parts to get stuff. But I was like, well, this scene literally is calling for that. And I was like, fuck it. He called my name. They went in there, took my shirt off. And as I'm like pulling it off, she goes, the casting director goes, you don't need to do that. And I was like, I don't care, whatever. And I meant to be like, look, I have no hangups, no qualms. I'm here to just act and feed the character. And I don't, when I was like saying it, I was like, I don't care, as in I don't have any inhibitions, not like I don't give a fuck what you think and I'm going to show off my muscles. That's not what I meant. And I think she took it that way. And so I just went with it, did the scene, and it was more just to show like, hey, I'm in. And it was like that gamble of like them going, oh, that one guy came in, he just went for it. And it's like, I was like, well, don't pick this scene if you don't want it to be this. Because also they wrote the scene because of some piece of shit fat slob came in, they weren't going to cast him. So I was like, well, I might as well show them what they're going to get if they cast me, because at the end of the day, this is the massively superficial scene. So let's do it. It went okay. I think the scene went fine. I went to this was like was this at ABC or NBC? But it was for a feature film. I don't remember. But I always went to this one gas station after I went to this studio for auditions, and called my manager. And she's like, "How'd it go?" And I was like, "X, Y, and Z." And I was like, "I just, I went for the little gimmick to, And she's like, "What'd you do?" And I was like, "Well, the scene was shirtless, so I went for it." She goes, "Oh, what?" And she found out who the casting director was, and this casting director is this is like 4 degrees of separation, so I can't vouch for this. But as she understands it, this casting director is very much against those kind of dudes that are like puff chest out, look at how sexy I am guy. And so I not only did I embarrass myself by doing the thing, I also picked possibly the worst casting director that had no interest in a guy that did that. So I might have burned that bridge. I actually know I stand corrected. My manager is amazing, and she crossed paths. She's good at elbow rubbing and networking. She crossed paths with this casting director at an event some other time in the future, and all is good. But I couldn't have picked a worse target for sexy body Jeff attempt audition. Excuse me. And in that spirit, the one that came to mind while I was doing my little intro, one casting director, it was a fight scene, and it was kind of like some like underground fight club thing, and all those fight scenes, dudes have their shirts off. And again, I was like, okay. And this time I didn't. I was just like, I'm just going to be told what to do. And he said he gave all the actors, he partnered you up, and then he had you step outside to choreograph a fight and come back, which is a weird thing because you're just asking for something to go wrong. So me and my partner did that, and he goes, we come in, and he's like, all right, I need you guys to take your shirt off. And at the time, you just kind of get in this weird, like, horse blinder zone out. You're like, whatever, because this stuff, to an extent, shouldn't matter. Like, taking a shirt off should be no different than them saying, all right, turn left 45 degrees so the camera sees you. It's just robotic physicality stuff. So I didn't think twice. And then I looked at the footage after the audition. I was like, this is a little like Roman homoerotic. This was really weird to have these 2 shirtless dudes wrestling in his office. So that was when I looked back. I'm sure it was legit, but it was the way it was carried out was a little odd, where I was like, look back at the footage, I was like, this is weird. He just had a full day of dudes just slamming their bare skin against each other in his office. So those are my scary audition experiences. we I guess I'm supposed to say something like, "This is how we're reminded to stay grounded and focused," and, but these are definitely the stories that are reminders that no matter how crazy things get, uh, I I'm we also have the power to let how this is supposed to bother us or learn from it. But the problem with this industry is there's no rules, and so one minute you hear don't do X, the next minute you hear so and so did X and got this job and is now, famous and has a career. So, excuse me, but fuck if I know the answers. Because, you're also not supposed to wear body armor to an audition. I did, and I got the role. So gimmicks, I hate the word gimmicks because it degrades the art, so to speak. But at the end of the day, some jobs in Hollywood and Hollywood in general, it isn't necessarily the most artistic endeavor. So you just got to, the role itself later, yes. The audition process, new. It is not artistic. It is get picked, get seen, find your gimmick, find your niche, and we play the psyops and get the job. And so, yeah, the audition process is not artistic. It is 100% gimmicky. Find a way to get seen and discovered, and then you can go be artsy fartsy later. But until then, gimmicks, gimmicks, gimmicks. So thanks for watching. If you've got any scary audition stories of your own, please share in the comments below, or if you have questions about it or any concerns, comments, please comment below. And if you want to see more intriguing content about the entertainment industry, be sure to subscribe, notification, hit the thumbs up, shenanigans, all that stuff really, really helps me. So please, thank you. Trust me, I've got plenty of stories. So please like, subscribe, share, and all that stuff. So you do not want to miss this stuff. It is hell on earth. Thanks, everyone.